mining, resources, and more here on Cobra TV. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Cobra TV. You know I value every time you watch my videos. And as you guys know, Bookshelf Gaming, the ones that you know of him, has been absent for quite a while. And he's, dealing with issues in his life that is pretty demanding. It's not too serious, but it is drawing him away from being able to be my co-host here on the show. And temporarily filling in for Bookshelf Gaming is the lovely, enchanting Pixie. Pixie, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Pixie is a YouTuber. She's pretty much a new YouTuber. She's uploaded videos in the past of GTA 4 videos and GTA 5. She's never been real serious about her YouTube channel. Then she started doing something called Ear Candy Radio, where she talks about just random topics, most of them being gaming, and some of them being just weird stories that she finds on the internet. And I happen to really enjoy her show. But here to help me talk about the resources and mining is Pixie. And that's one thing that really has not been shown a lot or talked about entirely too much is resources and actually mining for them. But before we start, I want to ask Pixie, what got you into No Man's Sky? What is it to you? How are you going to play the game?
Well, I plan on doing a lot of exploring. I can't wait to see the different planets and animals.
Right, yeah. What about the combat? Are you interested in getting into some dangerous fights?
Very much. I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, I know you used to upload a lot of videos on YouTube about you being a pilot and in GTA 4 and fighting other players. So I can imagine flying the ships and actually having dogfights is something you're really looking forward to.
Yeah, I can't wait.
So does it matter whether you're going to be dogfighting AI or online players? Does it matter that mostly your dogfights are probably going to be AI? Does that matter to you?
Not really. I mean, I would still enjoy it, but fighting an actual person would be nice every once in a while.
The single player aspect of this game is definitely not a deal breaker for me, because everyone knows that I am a serious multiplayer gamer, and No Man's Sky is that exception for me. Just the what the game stands for is enough to really pull me out of needing a multiplayer game. But anyways, let's go ahead and start talking about the resources. And one of the many articles that were written, this article talked a little bit about mining and using, getting the resources. And it states that resource gathering in every game is normally super boring, and people purposely make it like a chore, kind of like, grinding. And we want it to be fun. It's something that we're still playing around with, and it's quite fun to be able to do it from a distance. And we also love this grenade thing. So what he means by doing it from a distance, I think it's because he's talking about, throwing the grenade and blowing up the terrain and getting to the resources that way, or just shooting with your multi-tool. Now, this isn't how it will look, he states. It will be like a plasma ball. You'll just have to trust me, and it blows holes in the terrain. And if you're really good, and then it states that Sean expertly levels the surrounding scenery. The terrain is completely and utterly destructible, and that's how we're going to get to the resources. And I think that's a good touch. What about you?
It's going to be so much fun.
I know, right? Instead of just walking around and, picking up some kind of icon or whatever, and it's saying, hey, you just got 5.7 Heridium. You're actually going to have to scan and hunt for the stuff and blow up the ground to get to it. So I think that's pretty cool.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah. Planets are generally going to have only one resource. Some could have more, and they can be combined too. And as we see in the Oriya 5 trailer, Heridium states that it's flammable. So we do know that the in-game's periodic table ties to the resources. So I wonder, aside combining the resources together to make them more profitable, which is a confirmed feature, I wonder if, like, Heridium being flammable is going to be, if you're going to be able to use it as something different. Like, say you're flying above a giant alien animal. I wonder if you could drop some Heridium all around it and then shoot it and explode the whole thing. Who knows? But it being flammable is definitely interesting to me.
It would be cool to use as a weapon.
Yeah, it would. Or a trap.
Yeah, exactly.
And in a recent article that was released, it stated that the red stars, the red-hued stars, mean that it's a resource-rich solar system. And so when you see the red stars on the galactic map or whatever, that means that there's a lot of resources in that solar system. So now we know how they're using red stars in the game, and they're not something that's getting ready to, destroy itself. And Heridium is definitely the only resource that we've been shown so far. So we know there's more, a lot more, but for some reason or another, they've only showed us Heridium. Why do you think that is? Do you think it's just to be secretive, or do you think it's
Well, knowing Sean Murray and his need to keep No Man's Sky as a secret and surprise everybody, it's probably that reason.
Yeah, I guess so. We also see what it looks like him buying some at the space station just before he goes down to the planet and lands on the trade station, and then he sells some Heridium. So I wonder if it's worth more on the planet than it is at the space station, because we do know that a resource could be worth more in a different part of the galaxy than where you're at, or in a different solar system, or in a really good trade route. So I wonder if it was worth more on the trade station, and that's why he bought some at the space station. Or it could have just been as an example to show us how trading would work on the trade station. What do you think?
I think it was just an example to show us how trading works.
Yeah, I can see that, because they do cheat in their trailers to show examples for certain things. So maybe that was just an example of hey, this is where you could sell Heridium, and maybe that maybe at the beginning where he's picking up the Heridium in the space station, that was just it left in there by mistake. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
There's more info in this article. It's pretty interesting. It says, for some people, this might be a thing they're doing all of the time. It might be something that they're doing occasionally, or it might be the whole game mode for them. And he's speaking of trading. Sean explains going between systems, space stations, gathering different kinds of resources. You can combine the resources and then they become more valuable. And just basically being a trader, you will be attacked quite often as a trader, because when your ship is destroyed, you drop the cargo that you were carrying, and whoever attacked you can take it. So I wonder if that works for online players too.
I hope so. That'd make things a lot easier.
Easier?
Yeah. If we're able to collect what other people have traded, we don't have to do all that mining.
You are twisted.
Why, thank you.
I think it's good that this galaxy / universe, the whole universe in No Man's Sky is so big, so people don't run into you, huh? Some more parts of that article reads, so a thing that we really haven't shown yet is resources. We're generally not showing this. It will look better in the finished game. You can scan by pressing the square button, and you can see certain resources. So I guess confirmed, the square button's to scan with the multi-tool. And as Sean scans the environment, cubes of collectible materials are outlined against the terrain. He then fires projectiles towards them, destroying chunks of the scenery with a shimmery sci-fi sound effect. And then he responds by saying, you can see the terrain is destructible, something we have not shown people before. And that's interesting, something that he's right. We've not seen destructible terrain before at all in any of the trailers. So, except for maybe the trees being knocked down when that creature's like running through the forest, running through those trees, knocking those trees down. But that's interesting, like the destructible terrain's a big aspect to any game. And the fact that they haven't showed us makes me just awe at the fact that, man, there's so much about this game we have not seen. But that moment when you first meet an online player, are you truly going to fire? I mean, it's going to be an event, you know, like, wow, you're not alone in this universe.
Well, I'm going to wait until they fire first. If they fire, then I'm going to fire.
Oh, okay. I see. So you're going to be friendly, but you're going to look for the opportunity to be fired upon so that you could fire back.
Yes.
I get it. Okay. See, I was under the impression that you were just going to go around and just kill people at random if you ran into them. If we could ever run into anything.
No, that would be fun, but no. If it was a different game and not No Man's Sky, and the fact that it's very rare to run into a person, then I would. But since it's so rare, I'm not going to do that unless they fire upon me first.
I see. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I really don't think that you're going to have a whole lot of people kill on sight. But who knows? If everybody ends up buying this game eventually, then I'm pretty sure there's going to be quite a bit of that.
Yeah.
So some of the, you know, and the colors, you know, how they have the solar systems, they have colors to the solar system, and those colors represent the type of resource, the main type of resource that is in that solar system. So that is why, at the moment, the solar systems are bright purple or bright green or something like that. Those colors represent the resource in that area. And thanks to the new article, we've learned that the red stars are resource-rich areas. But other than that, guys, we are still left in the dark on mining and other resources beyond Iridium. We do know that, you know, you get units, and that's the best way to make money in No Man's Sky, is to mine and sell the resources and combine them and sell them. Okay, Pixie, I'm going to go ahead and link your YouTube channel down below. I thank you so much for coming on the Cobra TV show, and it's been a pleasure. You are a trip.
Thank you for having me.
You have anything you want to tell anybody?
Please subscribe, everyone. I love you guys.
Awesome. Okay. And I will put that link down there. And I'm going to leave a subcast I did with a awesome subscriber, Lorian, who is a member of the No Man's Sky Facebook group and is a very active member there. As always, I love you guys so much. If you have any ideas for the channel here, go ahead and mention them down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the other channel, the other Cobra TV channel, for identity coverage and other games. If you got any game that you want me to cover that's in development, comment over there on that other channel, and I'll see what I can do. Until next time. Okay, Lorian, thank you for coming on Cobra TV. It's awesome to have you here.
Hey, thanks for having me. Thanks for doing Cobra TV.
No problem. It's fun. It's even, you know, the fun thing about it is being able to make the videos and then talk to the people that actually watch them. That's the cool thing about it. The whole experience. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I know, like, you had mentioned that you didn't necessarily set out to make, like, a No Man's Sky channel, and sort of like, you know, you didn't choose Thug Life, like, Thug Life chose you kind of things. That cracks me up.
Yeah. It just, you know, kept going. And like, oh, there's more info. I got to make a video. Oh, there's more info. I got to make a video.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I see
keep
that.
it up.
Yeah, right? So it's like, okay, so, you know, a lot of the thing, you know, the hype around No Man's Sky, it's on the fence, because I don't know if I'm going crazy, but like, I'll ask people out in public if they've heard of No Man's Sky, and they say no. Almost every single person that I ask, you know. I mean, of course, I'm not talking about GameStop employees or things like that, but we have like Walmarts, you know, and there's other types of stores that are like Walmarts. They have like a big game center inside, and I'll go inside and I'll talk to the guys in there. I'm like, have you heard of No Man's Sky? And they'll say no. And it just amazes me how much there is hype to the game, and then at the same time there isn't.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I have seen people say, like, oh, you know, like, Hello Games is hyping it too much, or Sony. They're not doing anything right now. You know, it's like, if they want to get the word out, and, you know, they will, if and when they do, they'll get it out. But right now it's sort of all us doing it. And it is sort of frustrating, because the stuff you've seen is mind-blowing. And then you're right, like, you talk to people, and a lot of people, you know, don't know about it. But I think that'll change, and I feel like it's kind of fun to be on the inner circle right now.
Yeah, and I think it's starting to change now because here lately I've been seeing reaction videos about No Man's Sky. You know, like it's just I've seen 2 within the last day of my reaction to watching No Man's Sky trailer. And I'm
nice.
like, yeah, I'm like, wow, you know, this is good. And they've all been pretty positive. But, you know, Hello Games is a small indie development company. So people are like, well, they're not going to be well known around the world. But the game speaks for itself, and the fact that they won the best at E3 of 2014,
Yeah.
you know, should have radiated completely around the world. You know?
Well, it is surprising, yeah, at that point with that kind of stuff and being like a big front and center piece of the VGXs that like people don't know, and like all of a sudden they're now reacting. It's good they're positive, but I think to your point about it being a small studio, I think that is where a lot of the incredulity comes from. You know, like people are afraid kind of to trust that an indie studio could be capable of the scope of this game. I mean, I think they are, but I think that's where a lot of the, you know, skepticism is coming from.
Yeah. Yeah, just you know, with you know, and I don't mean to offend anybody, but you know, with Destiny and Watch Dogs, those are 2 really big letdowns. You know, and it wasn't the hype from the fans. You know, we didn't get too hyped ourselves about the game and let ourselves down. The things that they were saying led us on. You know.
Yeah.
And when we finally got the game or got closer to the release, we were like, wait a minute, what's going on?
Yeah, you know, I agree. That's a different type of hype. And I fell prey to that too, you know, and I did have fun with Destiny, you know, and it was really cool to go online, you know, with some of my friends that I hadn't seen in a long time and play with them. But, you know, I'm done with it. Like, it definitely didn't really have any sticking power for me. I do think that was overhyped. And, you know, it's once bitten, twice shy because, you know, people have just come off of that. And in a large, you know, 2014, a lot of people got burned by a lot of overhyped games. So I think people are afraid right now. They're just a little hand shy.
Yeah, they are. Definitely they are. And, you know, I think that No Man's Sky has actually been seen by everybody, but I just think that they've forgotten about it because when they've seen it, they're like, nah, no way. No way can it be possible. So, and then it just completely gets pushed out of their brain, you know?
Totally, yeah. Well, you know, I mean, the waters are muddied too because you see so many cool concept videos on Kickstarters and places like that. So if you're not really paying attention, you may just lump it in with that and kind of be like, oh yeah, that looked cool, but who knows? You know, that'll change. But, you know, one thing I wanted to kind of bring up is this whole idea of like, you know, everyone's riding the hype train and it's going to be a letdown and whatever. And there's an interesting sort of analogous thing that I came across, which is like some studies they did about vacations, and that the biggest boost to your happiness comes from the act of planning a vacation and the anticipation. So like that boost lasts like, you know, 8 weeks according to their study, whereas like the happiness boost from the actual vacation itself only lasts like 2 weeks. So it's a normal human phenomenon.
Huh. That's really interesting.
Yeah. So I figure, you know, we shouldn't be so hard on ourselves as gamers. We should embrace that, you know, kind of the hype part of it because that's part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, it sounds silly, but it's almost like anticipating Christmas. You know, it's like I love the hype. I like it. You know, I'm not going to be let down if there's the game doesn't have something that is in my brain that they haven't confirmed. You know, I'm not going to be let down. So, but it's fun to sit there and speculate and wonder, this is there, that's in it, or this is in it. It's fun, you know?
Yeah, well, and right now, the possibilities are endless. Like, once the game happens, it is what it is. But right now, we're in a world of, you know, infinite whatever, and that's fun.
Right, yeah. And, you know, they're not out there saying that expect this or expect that. Or insinuating this or insinuating. You know, they are doing something that Rockstar kind of did, you know, has done forever, is not talk about their game too much and not show too much. But Hello Games is like, I don't know, they're like worse, you know? Definitely. I mean, it's you could tell they're not in it for the money.
No. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, they're not.
He would be out there saying, we have this, we have that, we have this, you know, and he's not. You know, he's actually harming possibly the sales of his game by not talking about it and by keeping things secret.
Yeah, that's definitely a legit possibility, and that certainly is one reason that you're running into the backlash, sort of. It's just, when they go silent like that, people get worried because we've been conditioned, with the internet age to expect all the details all the time in advance, and that kind of ruins it to a degree, especially with an exploration game like this.
Yeah, I tell you, I've watched Bloodborne, I was following that game, and I ended up watching somebody's 44-minute playthrough speedrun.
Yes.
You know what it did for me? I'm probably not going to buy the game now.
Really?
Yeah, because I've seen the whole game. Of course, I didn't see like what you could do in the game to postpone getting to the end, getting sidetracked and the long battles with the insignificant characters, but I've seen too much of it. And if I buy the game, I'm just going to be like, "Oh, I get to play what I see now." So it's like, I don't know.
No, that's true. Like, the magic's sort of gone. Like, maybe not all of it, like you say, but like the boss battles that would have taken you by surprise, like you've already seen them. Yeah.
I just have no desire to play it now. I mean, I did before. I don't know why I sat there and watched the whole thing.
Right? I know. You know what you're doing to yourself. That is true. Yeah. I mean, my husband's playing it right now, so I go in and I watch him play sometime. It's a super cool game, but I mean, like, it's a little more hardcore than what I tend to go for. So, but
yeah, I should have stopped, but
yeah. Well, it's hard, that, right? You just want to see. You can't help it. It's just like Christmas. You want to know.
Yeah. But the thing about No Man's Sky is no matter how much you watch, like if you're waiting for the PC release and the PS4 comes out, and you're watching videos on YouTube, the game's not going to be ruined for you because it's so big. And he says that we won't run into any repeats of, like animals and plants and stuff like that for another 5,000 years.
How crazy is that? And that's the kind of talk that's like freaking people out too, though.
You're right,
I think it's true, but people are like, "Oh my God, that's not possible. You're clearly lying." But I think, that's probably accurate.
Yeah. And it's a hard game to understand. Like when you first learn about it, you watch a trailer, you're like, wow, let me learn more about this. And you start watching the interviews, and then you learn that it's 18 quintillion planets, and then you learn that it's procedurally generated, and then you learn that it's all permanent, that it's a permanent seed. And when you think of procedural generation, you think it's random, like Minecraft. So then you learn that it's permanent for one, and then you learn all this other stuff. So now that the game's picking up more people, they keep coming on. Like someone sees it and they have to go through that whole process all over again. That person has to start that process of learning just like we all did, because there's really nothing out there like a welcome package for No Man's Sky.
No.
I tried to make one.
Well, you had a good video. Yeah, the What is No Man's Sky video. That is a good welcome package.
But it's long. So someone might say, "Hey, dude, watch this video." And they're like, "No, I'm not going to sit there for 47 minutes." So it's really hard. So I think that is also a lot of the hate for the game, is because they see something, they don't learn about it, so they don't understand it, and they immediately say it's going to fail. So
and the fact of the matter is, it's not going to be for everybody.
No. Oh, no. And it's not going to be the last game you'll ever need either.
No.
You're not going to play this game for the rest of your life. It could be played for the rest of your life, but you're not going to. It's just a game. People have to understand, No Man's Sky is a game just like every other game. You say that you're going to run into repeats with No Man's Sky. Well, if you play Battlefield 4, Call of Duty, Bloodborne, you're going to run into repeats all the time.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, there's this voxel-based game, kind of like Minecraft, that's 7 Days to Die. It's like a zombie apocalypse, like voxel game.
Yeah. And
I've been with that since it started, and it's basically kept my interest for a year and a half now, which is surprising to me. But it's also repetitive, so it's kind of like, you can't expect a game to transcend the limitations of what a game does. Like people are saying, "Oh, No Man's Sky is gonna be like a collectathon." Well, I mean, if you break down any other game, you can break it down into these kind of non-fun, boring components if you want, but it's kind of like looking behind the curtain. Like, why would you do that?
Every single game is a collectathon.
Yeah. That's World of Warcraft, and it worked for them. So.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think the game's going to do good. It's going to do real good. I mean, not at first. I don't think they're going to have a good launch unless Sony pushes it when they get close to the release date. But
I think they will, though.
Yeah, they would be stupid not to.
Yeah, they would be. you know, and I'm really hoping, and that's one thing, you know, Sean Murray, I saw in a video where he said that they aren't really thinking too much about, like, you know, collector's editions and things like that. And that's when I was kind of happy that Sony's on board, because I super want a big deluxe collector's edition. I am waiting for that.
So
like,
do I. You know, like a big book of concept art.
Yes, yes.
Maybe a behind the scenes explanation story of how the game was made, you know.
Yeah, documentary stuff. That is the best when those games come like that. Yeah, not necessarily anything in game. Like, I don't want special in game stuff. I want like a pendant that I can wear around, you know, like bumper stickers. Like, that's the kind of stuff I want.
Yeah, no DLC pre-order stuff. You know, that's
no,
no way.
Yeah.
But yeah, physical things. That I think that would be cool.
You know, like a soundtrack, because they've got that, you know, that band, like, you know, assigned to it. Like, they are already writing a soundtrack for it, right? So
yeah, it's actually done now.
Yeah. How cool would that be in vinyl?
Right. Oh my gosh. Yeah. You know what scares me is that I contacted Sony several times, and they said that the game's going to be released on both digital and physical. But people are posting these pictures from GameStop all over the place where it's advertising No Man's Sky on the PlayStation Store, and it says download only.
Yeah, that's no good. I hope that that's just preliminary. And, you know, they've got to be working on a collector's edition. Every place does a collector's edition now. All the big games do that. They've got to know. You know, they're paying attention, like, and seeing.
Yeah, they'd have to. I mean, what about people? And there's a lot of people in the No Man's Sky community that they're hoping that there's going to be offline mode because they don't have internet. So someone.
Yeah, well, and there is, right?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
So, but all these people that they don't have internet, how are they going to be able to buy the game if it's not released? You know, I don't know. I think it'll be a big mistake if they don't release a physical copy.
I would be shocked if they don't. I mean, I do hope it's not limited as far as their, you know, deluxe stuff to being like a special PlayStation, you know, No Man's Sky edition PlayStation, because I would like that, but we already have our PlayStation. There's no way I'm getting that, no matter how much I want it. So, I mean, but I that's the kind of thing I think that they'll do.
Bookshelf Gaming was, I don't know if you know who he is. He was on Twitter, and he tweeted something to the head of Sony, and something about the faceplate for the PS4. And and he tweeted at him saying, a No Man's Sky one would be perfect. And then he tweeted back, the head of Sony tweeted back to him and said, you know what, you're right.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I mean,
that I would
Sony,
go for.
The head of
Okay,
Sony.
so that's something that, you know, like people who are fans of the game could do, you know, take to social and kind of push for that if you want like a deluxe edition, if you want like a physical thing, like make that known, because they listen to social.
Yeah, and that's the power of us, you know. We have the power to actually voice, and you know, we could get together. I had a video a long time ago where I was like, if any of you guys have any questions for Sean Murray, type them down below and then tweet him the video. So
nice.
A few people tweeted it, but that was when I was like really small, you know. Yeah. I mean, I'm not big now, but I wasn't, you know, I was really small back then. So it didn't really
you're
work.
The authority, dude.
So, but yeah, if we just get together and just, it's not harassment, you know, we're fans.
Not at all. That's
we're fans, and their Twitter accounts, they're public, you know, and they want to hear certain things from us, you know. Whenever Sean Murray has a talk, when he can hear like questions and fan interaction, you could always see his face light up when he like can you build a space station? He said no, but that's a good idea.
I love that.
Right. So it's like,
I miss Sean Murray going out and about talking. Like, I know he's got to work on his game, but I super miss that. I love listening to him talk.
So do I. Yeah. Hopefully, you know, E3 will just start another chain of Sean Murray interviews, and you know, all the other guys and Hazel at Hello Games. They're all great people, you know. I just wish they'd start talking.
Well, I'm just, you know, I'm having faith, and I'm assuming that's because they're super heads down, like polishing it up, and that's what I want them doing right now. So I'm willing to make that self-sacrifice, you know, and not listen to them talking. But I agree, like once E3 hits, I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what comes out about it, because something's got to come out about it right then.
Yeah, they're not going to miss it. No.
You
know, when they said that they weren't going to be at certain events, they did not mention E3 at all.
Oh, that's good. I haven't seen that.
They tweeted saying Sean Murray will not be speaking at any of the public events, and they said SX by SW. They said GDC, and they covered events that led all the way up to, I think, until May. So I'm like, okay, so the next month is E3, and you couldn't mention that you're not going to be there. So I know they're going to be there, and I don't think they're going to release the game. I think what's going to happen is they're going to show a new trailer, talk a little bit more about the game, and then actually tell us when the release date will be.
I hope so. Yeah, it seems like it's the right time to do that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so what do you think? We're thinking probably like August, September at this point.
Yeah, somewhere around Q3. There's only 3 months to pick from, so and Q3. So I definitely think anywhere between August and September. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be good.
At this point, I don't think they need to delay. I mean, if you watch old videos of Hello Games, they used to go around in 2010 looking at sea life and looking at wildlife.
Oh, I haven't seen those, really.
Reference points, and they never mentioned why they were looking at those things, and they were looking at geological formations.
Oh man!
And this was in 2010.
Yeah.
So they were already planning on making the game. So this game could be actually in development for the last 5 years.
Well, and everything you see is pretty polished. Oh my God, that just that kills me, because so in college I was a marine bio major and a geology minor, and I was in the astronomy department, and I did research stuff for them. So this is just this game is made for me. I can't wait.
Oh, I know.
Seriously, we had a project in astronomy to create our own planet that adhered to the laws of physics, and that was my favorite project in all 4 years of college. So wow. I cannot wait for this.
Yes. Yeah, I can imagine. There's a couple, I don't know if you noticed on Facebook, on our group.
I love your Facebook group.
Thank you. Dale. I'm not Dale, but what's his name? Oh man, I can't figure out his name. There's a guy on there that's a teacher that in his free time he's been teaching kids about No Man's Sky, right at the end of the class.
Oh, fabulous.
I know. He even made a short little gameplay clip video to show them. And,
the children are our future,
Yes. So I think it's pretty cool. And this game is it's gonna go so far. Imagine all the urban legends. People say, "Oh, I saw this on the planet, but I couldn't record it in time." Yes. So now we're gonna be all these myths that are supposedly out there,
Well, now that you say that, I am totally gonna Photoshop that classic photo of Bigfoot onto a No Man's Sky planet.
Yes, definitely.
Oh my God, you guys! I'm not kidding. The fake urban legends and the real ones.
Oh yes, yep.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, well, that's one thing I've been thinking about, and I know in your subs sometimes you ask people what they're gonna do, when you first start and you're on the planet, your first planet, and I love your concept of that being the planet you're born on, because that's so
right.
That's really cool. But I'm just I'm gonna explore that planet, but like you said, it's gonna be kind of hard to leave because the completist in you. I mean, there's no way you're gonna get every piece of life and research and identify and find everything on that planet. So you're leaving a planet that you discovered, I'm assuming, because you were born there.
Right.
But tons of stuff on that planet is going to remain undiscovered, and I think all the planets are going to be like that. So it's kind of I don't want to go before I found everything.
Right. And that's going to be hard because the life-size planets, you're
not going to find everything.
No, it would take more than one lifetime to do so. So it's
imagine, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's one of the reasons why there's points of interest. Maybe the procedural generation knew that to look out for certain land things or certain things that are in the game, to put a point of interest there so that you can go to it and see the main attractions of what might be on that planet. So that way you wouldn't feel once you get all those points of interest done, maybe the completionist will feel okay, I got them all, so now I'm going to move on.
Yeah, and that's plausible, in a Star Trek-ish kind of way. I'm also a big Star Trek fan, so.
So am I.
Yeah,
and Star Wars.
So great. Yeah, Star Wars is great too.
I never understood the divide between the two.
there is
I'm a
divide.
And why? Why is there a divide? Okay, here's how I look at it. Like Star Wars. They come out with a new movie, and I watch it. Then I got to wait like 2 to 4 years for another one. So I go to the books, I read some Star Wars books, and then, but I want to watch something. So since I've already seen the other Star Wars like thousands of times, I turn to Star Trek.
Yeah.
And I use Star Trek, you know, and I watch that until the next Star Wars movie. And then, you know, that's how I do it. It's just like, why is there a divide?
System. Yeah, no, I know. And like, I mean, I get how they're sort of different. Like Star Wars is sort of more, you know, action-y and like not space opera-y, but it's fun and action. It's just different. Star Trek is more like human ideals and exploration and morality, and like, you know, the episodes like have all these kind of like moral conflicts, you know, so maybe it's, I don't know, like I take them as like they complement each other well.
Well, yeah, that's the point. They're not even in competition with each other.
No,
They're
and I don't
sci-fi.
think they want to be. Yeah.
It's like, why do you like Star Trek, but you don't like Star Wars? They're completely different. It's like saying, I like houses, but I don't like boats.
Yeah.
It's like,
you know,
that doesn't make any sense to me. It's
I like chocolate ice cream and vanilla ice cream. I am totally cool with like all ice creams.
Right. Oh, but yeah, can you imagine though, just all the stories that people are just going to role play, or maybe even books that people write, or I don't know, field exploration books that people will publish on No Man's Sky?
The fan fiction. Yeah, yes. I love that. And because that's one of the types of gamer things that I like to do. I like to sort of put myself in situations, like kind of role play in my own head.
Definitely.
You know, so that's one of the types that's going to find No Man's Sky very appealing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this game's got a big future. I mean,
yeah, it really does. You know, it does.
To so many different areas.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. We know it's going to be awesome.
Definitely. Even if it only turns out to be where I can only play inside of one trailer. And that's it. That's the only game for me. I'm still going to be happy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just those planets and just doing only those things that he's doing. I'd still be happy. So
it would still,
I'm going to be let down.
No, I'm not going to be let down either. Like, I guarantee it. There's just no chance of that. It's people that I think try to build games into kind of more than a game is, you know, going to give you. That get let down, or people looking to be let down, because there's a lot of people, you know, on the internet saying, you know, oh, I'm worried it's going to be disappointing, and like, well, I mean, for them, they may be right.
Right. Yeah. And they're allowed to worry, you know, and they have the right to be, you know, they might have something completely different in mind to what they want out of No Man's Sky, and
that is
maybe
true.
It's not going to be for them. You know, it's not to be liked by everybody.
No,
but the thing that makes me so mad are the big giant YouTubers who are talking bad about the game, giving false information about the game, and some of those people that are subscribed to those people that, you know, they're diehard fans. They'll believe anything they say.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing.
Yeah, and then, you know, that's it for No Man's Sky for some of those people. Not all of them, but...
Yeah, but some of them, I mean, like, history may prove those big YouTubers wrong, but it's like, will those people who got that first initial, like, oh, this isn't good, they'll dismiss it. They may never look at it again.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and that's, you know, that's their loss, really. But, you know, I guess, like, us as, like, the core, like, hardcore community at this point, we can just kind of try to go out there and educate, and that's all we can do, you know, and try to be, like, ambassadors and be cordial about it, and not, like, do the typical YouTube comments thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, I don't think so. I'm just super excited about it, you know, and doing my part to get the word out, and it's going to be awesome.
It is going to be awesome. I cannot wait. And E3 is coming up very quickly. You know, I thought it would take long, but every time I notice, you know, it's like right around the corner.
Yeah, it's coming. I can't wait. It'll be here before we know it.
It's better than Christmas.
Yes, it is, because it keeps happening over and over.
I know. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Lorian, for coming on the Cobra TV. I really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me anytime. Keep it up.
Okay. You stay cool.
You do.
All right. Bye.